Hey, John, how are you this morning?
Hey, good. Excited to talk tech. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just got a new countdown thing in there. We'll probably experiment with that at the beginning, so that gives us a way to start. But welcome back to Futuretech, your weekly source for the latest in tech, innovation, and business. I'm the startup coach, and with me, as always, I'm joined by my co-host John Irwin.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Great to be here. Excited to talk future tech. Excited to talk tech and geek out with you today, Craig.
Yeah, you've got you busy, lots of stuff going on, but we've got a funding series starting soon. I think next week, not next week, the week after. So look for that, and we're talking about specific things. Join us live. You can ask different Q&A, and we'll talk about more stuff at the end. But I really wanted to let's just get into it. There's a lot of cool stuff. Some of this from CES, some from somewhere else. But the first story I wanted to get into was this wearable exoskeleton
Yeah.
muscle
Whenever I
suit.
whenever I hear exoskeleton, I always think back to the Aliens movie with the big construction machine that they're using to fight the alien. But this is different. This isn't that with the big huge claws. This is it's a muscle suit. The muscle suit is a soft wearable exoskeleton. It was developed by Inofis. I'm guessing PHYS is short for physical or physics, to assist with lifting and carrying heavy objects. What it does is it uses compressed air delivered through a waist-mounted pump to pneumatic muscles, quote unquote muscles, along the suit, reducing the effective weight lifted by up to 25 kilograms. So the pneumatic artificial muscle technology, it's not new, but this application aims to make the exoskeleton assisted lifting more accessible for both commercial and consumer use. So the pneumatic design, what it does is it employs soft, flexible materials that conform naturally to the body's movements without joint lock. So I don't know if you've seen previous exoskeletons. They're really stiff. They're really rigid. The motion. You'll see the video here that Craig's playing right now. They're this is the actual one that we're talking about now, but there's previous ones that aren't. But this is apparently it's really lightweight. I think 8.5 pounds. So it comes in two sizes and it flexes with the wearer's movements. So really interesting. I don't know what the cost of it is. I don't know if you know what the cost of it is, Craig. Have you seen the cost?
I thought I had it in one of these things here. I'll double check while we're talking.
But that
3.8 kilograms, not including cover weight wise. I got a PDF here of the
oh,
thing up.
3.8 kilograms. Yeah. Yeah. So it's it's really cool. This is a good step forward for exoskeletons because previously they were very rigid, like I said. So this is going to be interesting to see how it if they can bring the cost down of production. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty high. Then we can get this used in consumers. Even older people can wear these, different things like that, not just for lifting, but there's tons of possibilities out there.
It's interesting technology. If you're doing this kind of work where you're bending all the time, it's probably helpful. I saw a video of someone working with it at CES, and it wasn't as exciting as I would have liked it to be. The reporter, he could feel it, but he wasn't like, oh wow, I was just like, oh, I can see how like it takes a strain off your back. And so I guess without trying it, it's hard to say for sure what it feels like. Just lifting up a couple of things versus spending 6 or 7 hours a day lifting things.
Yeah. You know who I can see getting this and implementing this is Amazon for all their workers to get their workers to work longer. Sorry.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I don't see a US distributor here. So I
No.
was trying to find, a price somewhere. Just to see if we can.
Yeah. But yeah, so what they're saying is there's applications beyond lifting, which we're talking assembly line work, sorting, packing, which boom, boom, ding ding, Amazon, or extended reaching is required, or fatigue or strain on muscle joints. So really, really interesting to see. I'm really interested to know how I have some insights into it, but how it actually all is integrated together, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm as you can see, there's apparently a few other ones out here, and I'm just taking a look as we go through this French website to check
Mm-hmm.
out costs. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited about this technology because we're getting there. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we are moving in the right direction from wear and tear of somebody who works in a factory on their body doing this stuff over years is immense.
Yeah,
And the closer we get to being able to lower that impact so that people can work these jobs without having long-term injuries, the better.
yeah. Or we just replace them with robots.
Well, yeah, that's an eventuality,
Yeah,
but we're still gonna have to lift stuff. Like
we
for
are.
the most part, like how often I still have to lift stuff. Do I have a robot lift my cooler into my car? Do I have a robot lift my
Yeah,
groceries out and moving around? Do I have but in a factory setting, yeah, you can do most of it with a potential robot, but that assumes everything is precise and precision. And
yeah.
most of the factories that I've been to are not, which
No.
means, the stuff comes in, someone just unloads it. They don't unload it specifically in a specific place where the other robots know where it is to fetch it,
Mm-hmm.
specifically organized a certain way. So a lot of things have to change for something like that to happen. But,
For sure.
like I said, this looks interesting. But the people I saw trying it weren't blown away by it.
And I think the reason why they weren't blown away by it is because this doesn't have torque assistance, active torque assistance at the joints. So once you get active torque assistance at the joints, I think that would greatly increase the capabilities and greatly increase the differential between wearing it and not wearing it, kind of thing.
Yeah, the comment was you're still got all the full weight on your shoulders and your arms,
Yeah,
but it's really protecting your back and pushing the strain around. But yeah, if we were actuated, assisted with
mm-hmm.
this is someone else's product, so we're jumping into that would actually, hey, there you go, powered assistance.
Yeah,
This particular one seems to have it. I'll take a look at it later, but um, not jumping into that right now. It's an interesting technology. There seems to be other competitors out there. I wasn't, like I said, completely blown away by it, but I like where we're going. And as
yeah,
soon as, yeah, we get better where it helps.
yeah.
So, a 25-pound thing feels like a 5-pound thing, then we've got something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, they say there's medical applications for this, I guess, depending on if you've got very specific issues.
Honestly, there's
But
applications in every industry. We're talking military to enhance their strength, endurance, emergency response. It would give paramedics and firefighters added lifting power, especially if you have extremely heavy patients or debris, moving that to more safely. Um, Construction and mining for jackhammering, operation of cranes, and different things like that. Obviously, the elderly assistance and physical rehabilitation are really important. Even potentially space exploration. So, enabling astronauts to perform heavy duty work like construction, where as of right now, they would have to build a robot to do it. So, um,
morning, Ryan. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is very cool. But let's face it, we all want the exciting robot that we can kind of jump into, maybe an Iron Man type suit. But I'm
yeah,
thinking there's a few steps. Like what was the Aliens? Didn't Ridley jump
Ridley Scott
into?
or Ridley, yeah,
She jump into one of those loading robots and fight
yeah,
the aliens with it.
yeah. I honestly think we're past that already. I think we're at the point where we can have the smaller ones, exoskeletons, not as big as the ones that Ridley was using in Aliens, but um, as far as commercially available and readily available, I think we're far off from a production standpoint. But
Yeah. How do you go ahead?
Go ahead. No, and power wise too. Like you're talking Iron Man suit, and that's powered by his own technology, right? So
Absolutely. So the question becomes, powered and controlled is where we kind of want to be to really this being unpowered just seems like it reduces strain in certain areas versus being powered where it would actually do those assisting things that you're talking about, helping people move around, taking significant weight off certain areas of the body or whatnot that they can't, handle it.
Yeah.
So helping mobility, helping all sorts of issues where people can't, where they have pain or they just physically can't move around or lift.
Yeah. And the problem is right now you've only got essentially two options. You got pneumatics or hydraulics. And so hydraulics are going to take a lot more, are going to be a lot heavier as opposed to pneumatics. And then you got electric motors that are going to have to be involved, which makes it heavier, makes it less flexible, different things like that. So you've got, and then how you're going to power all that. You're going to have a battery pack or compressed gas or different things like that. Like I can see if you're on a shop floor and you've got these exoskeletons and they're just tied to it. Like if you're standing in place and you're just moving maybe a few feet here and there, you could have a power cord. So you're reducing the weight heavily and putting the power, plugging it right in. But if you're having to walk and move around, well, that's something completely different. How do you power that? And well, actually, we can get into this in the next one. Is I think China released a nuclear battery that lasts for many, many years. They just released it, or they said that they have it. So it's something we can talk about in our future episode. That could power this.
Is that the one that's like radioactive?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk. Yeah, put it in the list. I'd love to talk about it because I saw some stuff on that.
Apparently, it's radioactive, but it's safe. I don't know.
Definitely. It seemed pretty small, like the size of a matchbook or something.
They showed it. It looked like the size of a microchip at one point when they were showing one of the pictures. So I have no clue. Who knows? It's probably AI generated stuff anyway. So
yeah, we'll go take a look at it later. Yeah. Almost all my album art and our backgrounds are AI generated now, and some of them you'll see a little Firefly logo or whatnot. Just for people, just generate this stuff. I'm trying to get John to generate it for me, but
Sorry. Yeah. You know what? I've been having some issues with po.com as far as getting like actual files.
Don't worry about it.
But we'll figure it out.
But yeah, I could easily put your battery in the shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to carry it around, but now you put it in the boots or put it in whatever, it becomes part of the suit. The cable runs up. Definitely interesting technology. We're only at the early stages.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see things where we're targeting, say, an arm where, one arm is, I was watching an interview with Dean Cain actually yesterday, Superman, and he had blown his bicep, something he had to get surgery in there. But if he had something like this for his arm, he could still get around doing normal stuff without having to favor the one arm all the time and that kind of thing before a surgery. So definitely from a rehabilitation point of view, this is really interesting, and I think I'm ready for the future. Do you think at some point they'll be able to, like, it was Ripley, I think. Well, who was it in Aliens? It's Ripley. I said Ridley earlier. Sorry for everyone. Don't yell at me for saying Ridley. It's Ripley.
No, Ripley. Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Ripley. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. When do our exoskeletons going to interpret our natural gestures and start assisting us? Like, she jumped in that thing and it was doing exactly her motions and whatnot.
Well, that comes down to a bunch of different things. Motion sensors on limbs that can track joint angles, torso orientation, linear angular velocities to detect intended movements. And then you got force sensors and contact points to measure muscular exertion levels and tension directions to infer tasks like lifting, pushing, or pulling. You've got the EMG sensors, electromammography sensors on the skin or implanted could read electrical signals from the muscles. And then you've got your machine learning, AI. So any repeated motion or EMG data would allow the algorithms to recognize patterns and predict intended tasks based on posture, muscle dynamic, different things like that. Then you have your intent interfaces, torque modeling. So by understanding the biomechanics and motion dynamics, control systems can apply optimal counter torques in sync with kind of your biological movements. The sensor fusion, so integrating multivariate data could provide robust and redundant understanding of intent. So we need a lot more data, and so these exoskeletons are going to help to gather more data in order for us to build these exoskeletons to interpret user intent and assist better with natural gestures. Absolutely.
Well, I think for regular person, intent will become fairly easy. I say regular person, but say versus a quadriplegic who won't have to necessarily be able to move their arm or leg in a certain direction. To intent will have to do something like breathe or do something with a tongue or I've seen various interfaces, and I'm looking forward to seeing interfaces like that built into exoskeletons or other things. So now we can really bring up a quality of life for people who otherwise wouldn't have.
Absolutely. But as far as paraplegics and quadriplegics, couldn't we just install the Neuralink device? Sorry.
Yeah, well, you go back and listen to that,
Yeah,
and you'll hear I don't think that's the.
No,
don't
I
like the
know.
results, but they're working on it, and there is a solution in the future. It's a question of what and when,
and ethically how they got there.